All right. We are live on YouTube, and today what we're going to be discussing is, well, learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. This is a topic you don't want to miss. So stay tuned because we're coming right up.
Bring it back.
I'm sorry, I can't even do it. It's so damn funny. But anyways, live from wherever the fuck this faggot thinks he's live from. It is what it is. What we are going to start doing on this channel is a series that is essentially a mockery of the life coaches that exist out there. One in particular, a grip on life. You guys know him, Cuck Eli, Coach Eli. You know that character. So what we're going to do is, this is a new series on this channel. As you can see, it's rebranded, it's renamed to Coach JB Gunner. Because, listen, the reality of this is that life coaches in general are hilarious, especially when they try to teach you things that they don't know a goddamn thing about. But anyways, we're going to kind of mirror some of the video teachings and you know, all that shit from Cuck Eli. And I'm going to actually give you my real thoughts on this because I take notes on this type of shit. And listen, the reality of this is none of you need life coaching. What you need is to just simply focus on what it is that you want in life, what it is that your heart desires, like that faggot says. And stop putting people on a pedestal because you think that maybe they have a better life than you. Because as I've said many times, many of these people, especially ones that project that they are a life coach onto you, the truth of this is they're the farthest thing from it. Their lives are typically miserable, and it is what it is. But if this is your first time here, please make sure you hit the subscribe and bang that little bell, because when you do that, you get notified of each and every time I go live. Guys, we are sponsored as always by www.texascaregiver.com. Make sure you guys go there if you have any old people in your life you need to take care of, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whatever the case may be. Now, this video will be a mockery. And as you can see by this shit written up here, all this shit written down here, it is a mockery. But at the same time, I'm going to drop some real gems on you. Like I said, www.texascaregiver.com, guys. Go there, go to the affiliate program tab. Get all the products that you need to help keep them old people clean. If you'd like to support the channel, you can always do so down below. That's always going to say 0 because the person I'm mocking shit always says 0. So pay no attention to that shit. As you can see right down here, I'm YouTube failure. Certified. No, I'm a YouTube failure. You know how that shit goes. But anyway, what I want to speak on today is what the cuck did earlier this morning. As you see, well, actually last night he came out with this stream. The stream title is Learning to Let Yourself Go and Free Yourself from Nonsensical Drama, Late Night with Cuck Eli. This is what his stream discussed here today. Now, he actually quit the stream last night because he got some news from behind the scenes. Really, what that news was is he found out his doxing attempt of me, where he thought I was completely inaccurate. And I was too swift on my toes to get caught up with these hoes. You get my drift. And so it kind of triggered him a little bit because he thought he was going to get to swap me. He thought he was going to get to serve me all his little faggot bullshit because he doesn't like when people make fun of him on the internet. Well, as you can see clearly, I can see clearly now. That's right. Well, actually, you can't see clearly because you don't see the actual house that I'm in. I've got the fuck on. Because, like I said, when you're at war, you need to always consider the next moves of your enemy. You need to always take that into consideration and move quicker than them. And JB Gunner always moves quicker than them. And that's why I'm actually the perfect coach. If you guys are going to pay life coaches, you might as well pay the motherfucker that's actually successful. But anyways, we're going to get into this. And what we are going to be reading here today, not that, because that's him. We're going to be reading an article from Cuck Eli's favorite website, Psychology Today. This dude has no college. He has no degree in psychology. He has no credits in psychology. However, he likes to make you believe that he is He likes to make you believe that he can teach you something about your mind and about your goals. But I took a little bit of notes on this character's stream here this morning, and we're going to go over this article ourselves because I'm not going to sit back and let this frail little cuck teach y'all or even attempt to teach y'all, because at the end of the day, he cannot comprehend what articles like this are even talking about. And he always takes these articles and twists them around to meet his narrative. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this article. This article is written by Eileen Strauss-Cohen, PhD. Let's go ahead and get into this. It says, to let go does not mean to get rid of. To let go means to let be. When we let be with compassion, things come and go their own. Now, let's go ahead and get on in this. This is going to be 12 tips. Holding on to pain doesn't fix anything. So how they start off. Replaying the past over and over again doesn't change it. Now, here's the thing. The cuck is ranting and telling you about this, but listen, there's nobody that holds on to pain any more than the cuck. The cuck is in eternal pain about 3 girlfriends ago, breaking up with him, cheating on him. He's in pain because J.B. Gunner made fun of him. He's in pain because you people out there made fun of him. This is a cuck that holds on to animosity and pain beyond all others. The reality of this is, holding on to pain does not fix anything. However, it can wisen you up. That's just the reality. But anyways, it says, and wishing things were different doesn't make it so. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. A lot of projection. Well, we'll get to that. In some cases, especially when it comes to the past, all you can do is accept whatever it is you're holding on to and then let it go. Now, the cuck. There's some things that he mentioned during this that I'm going to elaborate on. Because one of the funny things that this cuck had the audacity to say is he says that he got to talking about relationships and talking about if a girlfriend doesn't want to be with you, you just got to let them go. You got to forget about it. You got to move on. However, this cuck, as many of you guys already know, has continuously mentioned his lovely lady Dana for months and months and months, almost every video. He has never, ever let it go. In fact, I'm going to show you something that will make you fucking laugh. If you go right here and you go to his actual videos, right, and you scroll down to his description box, you can clearly see. Let me see if it shows you the hashtags. Yes, right there. What's that say? It says, get X back. This motherfucker has the concept of getting an ex back as one of his hashtags. He's obsessed with it. The cuck cannot fathom the idea of letting an ex go.
I think the greatest part about being a professional development facilitator is the opportunity to influence people. And then influence people to change the way they think about their workplace and the significance of their role within the business or organization.
About this article and letting go, the truth of this is he doesn't let go. He doesn't.
Every day I'm stepping out of my own comfort zone and finding a new norm for myself. I haven't always been someone who was very talkative. Hard to believe, I know.
I'm sorry. Shit, I didn't even know that motherfucker was playing. It was playing on my damn headphones over there. I apologize. Shit, I don't know. But anyway, let's continue on with the article, right? It says, that's how everything changes. You have to let go of all that is hurting you. Even though this frail cuck can't let go of shit because he's obsessed with everything that's ever hurt his little fee-fees. It's just reality. It's the truth. Even if it feels impossible. Deciding to hold on to the past will hold you back from creating a strong sense of self, a self that isn't defined by your past, but rather who you want to be. Oddly enough, painful feelings can be comfortable, especially if they're all you know. Some people have trouble letting go of their pain or other unpleasant emotions about their past because they think those feelings are part of their identity. In some ways, they may not know who they are without their pain. Well, yeah, and the cuck's one of these people. He is the constant victim, and I think we all understand this. You know, you understand that anyone that criticizes this cuck is jealous of him, right? Anyone that roasts or make fun of this cuck is jealous of him. It can't be because people just don't fucking like him, right? So he holds on to this pain but yet he projects something completely different to you. He knows the shit hurts, and he knows he sees what everybody says about him. But that's not what he projects out to you. He projects out to you a feeling, an image of everyone else is the bad people. Everyone else is just jealous of this frail fuck that lives with his mommy. Everyone else is jealous of this frail fuck with no job, no career, no success, no vehicle in his own name, no house in his own name, no nothing, no girlfriend, no wife, no nothing, no assets, no education, no nothing. Everyone else is jealous of him because he just simply says so, because you have to be. You can't possibly just flat out dislike the cuck, right? That is his position. And so the reality of this is how he filters the pain, is he ignores it and he acts like it's something else. He's the perpetual victim. It's become part of his identity. That's just the reality. Now, like I said, the same person telling you to let go of the pain hasn't even let go of his Dana, has not let go of not just Dana, but other exes in his life. And we will get there. We will get there. So let's go. This makes it impossible for them to let go. If you find it hard to let go of the past, a bad relationship, grudges, these 12 tips can help. Now, I want you to keep in mind, this is what this cuck is trying to teach you. However, he's never been able to let go of exes or grudges. He literally wakes up every single day fueled by his grudge against me because I've hurt his feelings. Now, he will sit here and tell you, I don't feed into it. That's actually not true. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But let me make this clear. Even if you didn't post YouTube videos about JB Gunner, which you do, it doesn't mean that you're not behind the scenes, angry and trying to take down JB Gunner. So you may be able to convince your audience that maybe you don't talk about me anymore, even though you do in every single video. When you mention the Dramasphere, when you mention the other side, when you mention the Gun Squad, when you mention any of this, you are speaking directly about me, whether you say my name or not. The reality of this is I am living rent-free in your fucking head, while I'm getting paid for living rent-free in your fucking head. That is the reality. You haven't let shit go. You are fueled. Your entire persona is the virus of the grudge. Eats you every single day, top to bottom. How do I know this? Because I want you to think of something, cuck. Every single day when you're on the phone with SB, we got to take him down. We got to take him down. Why do you think that is? Is it because I've actually done anything to you? No, it's because I've made fun of you. It's because I've laughed at you. It's because I've proven you wrong and called out your bullshit. You hold a grudge to that. And you hold a grudge believing that I'm the one that ended your last relationship, even though it was clearly the little 3 white lies that you admitted to publicly. Just reality. Now let's get to this list of 12. I'm not going to take as long as the cuck does, so just let's get to it. Number 1, understand that the relationships you thought you have are going to be different than the ones you actually have. That's right. That is exactly right. It's all about perception. The reality of this is we all perceive things to be a lot of times different than what they really fucking are. And the cuck is a perfect example of this. He perceives himself to be a victim. He perceives things to be this whole group of internet are just dogpiling and bullying him without even taking into consideration the fucking shit that he's done, the lies he's told, the criminal things that he's lashed out and done, right? Let's read this. We must accept the person we are in this moment and the way other people are too. As time goes on, we continue to learn that things don't always go as planned. Actually, they pretty much never do. Yeah, that's right. You thought you was going to be a life coach. You thought you was going to come into the MGTOW community and fix all the men's. But that wasn't what happened, now was it, cuck? You thought you was going to be a successful YouTuber, but that's not exactly what happened, is it, cuck? Because the reality of this is you don't have what it fucking takes, and that triggers you, that bothers you, that your idea, your conception of what reality, your perception of what reality actually is not reality. You had this vision. It's like the guy that maybe was real good on the basketball court at home, but so he thought to himself, when I get in school, I'm gonna really hoop, and I'm gonna be the best in the city. And then they end up getting cut from the team because they absolutely suck. Their perception of themselves was different. Just saying. Listen, I went through that when I was younger. I thought I was going to be a rapper or a UFC heavyweight champion and things like that. And that's just not the way the fucking cards came out. You have to accept that shit. So, cuck, you're not a life coach. Anyone that's dumb enough to follow your shit, you can see it clearly in them, that their life sucks. But anyway, let's go ahead. As time goes, okay. Actually, they pretty much never do. And that's okay. If you become aware of yourself and you're part of your relationships, they will improve. That's right. Cuck, you need to become aware of yourself. Self-awareness is key, but you don't have that. And I'm going to explain why here in just a few moments. However, you may have to accept facts about certain people in your life. Practice gratitude, appreciation, and trust in the process. You do. You have to accept facts not only about the people in your life, but you yourself. And that is something you struggle greatly with. The ability to accept facts about yourself. This is the truth. In your stream, you talked about MGTOW men being butthurt because they have to give half of their assets to an ex-wife. And you came all white knighting and saying, well, if they stayed at home, then that's how you got to go to work. No, let me explain something to you, cuck. Actually, we would have been able to go to work anyways. But typically a woman drags us into this fucked up commitment. And so we commit to the dumb broad. And then we end up with all these damn responsibilities that we never wanted to begin with. At the end of the day, most men just want to go to work, come home, drink, and then have a mouth on their dick. That's the reality. But in your view, you think that because the woman stayed home, that allowed the man to go to work. That's not it at all. We were working before the bitch ever came here. We were working before the bitch ever moved in. We were working before we ever got with the bitch. That is an absolute fact. I know what you're saying. But then what if you had kids? 99% of the children made are the women's idea. That is a fact. And so here's the deal. Here's the deal. If you are one of the women that stayed home and took care of the kids, I'm not against you getting a little something, the properties, the assets, a little percentage, but half? The dude is the one that went out and worked 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day. How the fuck are you deserving of half just because you made a meal and burped a goddamn baby? And Eli, like, well, it saved you from paying all those daycares. Well, daycare's a lot cheaper than paying a bitch. Daycare's a lot cheaper than alimony. Daycare's a lot cheaper than a fucking wife. This is reality. This is the truth. So, Eli, your entire, and he called it a loophole. He said that men are mad about the loophole. No, here's the thing. Nobody wants to work their ass off and then have their assets taken. There is a lot of women that never did any of the things you said. There's a lot of women that don't cook. There's a lot of women that don't clean. There's a lot of women that are horrible at all that shit, and there's a reason why. Because feminism and leftist libtard motherfuckers tell them that they don't have to. They're empowered as women. They don't have to cook. They don't have to clean. So the likelihood of you finding a woman that does those things properly and accurately and even a lot is very, very slim. So this weird thing that the cuck is doing by saying, yes, if you married a woman, she's worthy of half your shit, that's on a case-by-case basis. Yes, if a woman did all of those things and did them well, then maybe 25%, maybe even half. But let's just call it what it is. A lot of these situations are not that. And then, like Cuck even openly said, that she just wakes up one day and decides not to be with you, and that's her prerogative, and then you owe her half. No, that's not the way this shit works. How are you being disloyal or you deciding you don't want to take part in the situation anymore does not entitle you to half. That's just not the way this works. It should not work this way. And like I said, the cuck says, like, just let it go. Life is too short. But yet he complains all of this shit every single day about Dana. Then he goes on to say that the most emotional, heart-wrenching thing that a man can ever go through is a breakup. Who the fuck are you been talking to, cuck? Most men don't fucking get emotionally hurt. Well, what in the fuck? See, this is where he puts his foot in his mouth. Because he openly says men are logical and women are emotional, which that's one thing I don't disagree with him on. However, then he goes on to say that breakups are the most emotional, heart-wrenching thing that a man could ever go through. It destroys them. So which is it, cuck? Are we emotional or are we logical? Because most men that I know that get broken up with, which I've never been broken up with, but in general, most men that have breakups are like, all right, I can go get some new pussy now. All right, I don't have to pay everything times two. Most men don't really struggle with that shit too much, unless you're one of them simps. The bottom line of this is because a real man understands that he's the fucking prize. If a bitch don't want to act right, if she don't want to appreciate, then get the fuck out of Dodge, right? But a cuck, a simp like this jackass, he just told you, it's the most heart-wrenching thing that you'll ever have in your life, a man will ever go through. No! Losing your career, going to prison, death of a child. There are plenty of things more hard. The fucking loss of your team in the Super Bowl. Men of my line, which one would you rather have? The loss of a bitch or your team losing the big game? I think most of us men will be like, bye bitch, bye, right? The reality of this is this cuck doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not saying that a breakup or being cheated on isn't something that can trigger some emotions, some very painful emotions, but I am saying this theory that it's the biggest emotional issue and the most heart-wrenching thing that a man can go through. I think that's complete bullshit. In fact, it's even contradictive of what the cuck says because he says real men don't get emotional. Cuck, if you say real men don't get emotional, how can then you then say real men that men get emotional? And it's the most emotional experience we'll ever go through, right? Because we put women that much on a pedestal that our biggest emotions is wrapped around whether that bitch is worth a fuck or not. You see what I'm saying? That don't make sense. That don't even make sense with your own teaching. You're a jackass. Now let's continue on. Number 2. Don't be invested in the outcome when it comes to dealing with people because it often leads to disappointment. Expectations have a way of keeping us stuck because they lead us to fear certain outcomes. There are no guarantees in life, and there's nothing we can really do to get the outcomes we desire when dealing with others. When our expectations or needs aren't met, we need to respond rationally and appropriately. Sometimes this means setting respectful boundaries. Other times it means letting go. And of course, the cuck went on to talk about his mods being where, he's like, I have boundaries. And if those mods are not exactly where I want them to be, then they don't need to be here. Here's what you need to understand, cuck. You need to ask yourself, why is everybody leaving you? Why do you only have one person in your chat for your entire stream? That was Alex the Beer Master today. Why? This is something you don't get. You don't understand that it's people simply are not going to follow your standards because you're not worth it. Your standards are based on your emotions. I don't like JB Gunner. Listen, you don't have the ability to be like me. I can control that type of shit because I am heavily liked. You are not heavily liked. Most people that are with you are only there because they feel sorry for you, and you've been told this over and over again. But you're such a narcissist, you don't see the shit. You think you clearly don't see it. Like you you think that you only having one person in your chat room is everybody else's fault. And it's not your fault. That's the way you see it because you're a fucking narcissist and you don't see that you are a complete fuck up, that you are a complete jerk off and no one fucking likes you. You don't see that, and that's just the reality. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Number 3, don't live in chains when you have the key. We live with self-limiting beliefs that we define who we are. We think, I could never do that, or I could never make that happen. If you truly believe that, you'll never accomplish your goals. Open up your mind and believe in yourself. There are many people who will tell you you can't do it. It's up to you to prove them wrong. And I don't disagree with that. However, cuck, you went on record consistently And we're going to get to number 5. Well, actually, we'll just continue on. Number 4, let's go with the idea that you can control others' actions. We really only have control over ourselves. That's right, cuck. Especially when you don't have them kind of connections. How the fuck are you going to tell your mods they can't go anywhere else? You don't want them to go anywhere else because you don't want them to see the truth. It's like a woman that's being fucking abused by a boyfriend, and the boyfriend doesn't want them to communicate with other people or their mom or anything like that because they are fear that that person will discuss that situation and they will be talked out of being with them. That is exactly what your fear is. You fear your mods will come over into my chat or someone else's chat and see the truth about you, and they will leave you. That is why you attempt to control them. You don't want them to see the reality about you, right? It is a waste of time and energy trying. That's exactly what it says right there. You can't change another person. That is the bottom line. You can't change another person because you don't even have the ability to change your fucking self. You know you're a fuck up. You know it, but you refuse to admit it. Now let's go ahead and get to this. Number 5, only worry about what you think of yourself. Now this is some bullshit fucking advice. And cuck, this is something that you say. Free yourself from being controlled by what other people think. And see, this is bullshit. And you consistently say this. It only matters what I think of me. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. No. Actually, that is why you only have one motherfucker in your chat room. Because you only care about yourself. You only care what you think of yourself. You don't give a shit about the perception that other people have of you. You don't give a shit about how other people look at the wrongdoings and activities that you create. So the truth of this is, because you listen to dumb shit like this and you truly believe it, you do not correct yourself. You do not learn from your mistakes. You do not even admit them. If you only care about what yourself thinks, you'll never have a job. You'll never have a relationship. You'll never have a woman. And Eli, you will never, ever, ever have a fan base. Why is that? Because your fan base and their opinion of you matters if you want to continue to keep a fan base. You cannot sit there and say, all I care about is what I think of me. Nope. Because eventually somebody's going to fuck you up. Because what other people think of you is very, very important to not just your success in life, but your safety in life. If you walk around only caring what you think, you're eventually going to piss somebody off and they're going to bust your shit. You cannot walk around like that because this is a real world with real people. And when you offend people, then you may have to be prepared to defend your fucking self. But you don't think like that. For some reason, that shit never crosses your mind because you live in a bubble, because your punk ass parents, they sheltered you. So you honestly think that there's never consequences for your actions. You honestly think that you can just breeze through this and what other people think of you or how much you offend other people does not matter because you're safe and sheltered. I'm here to tell you that's not always the case. One of these days, you're going to offend someone. One of these days, you're going to piss someone off and they're going to knock your fucking face off. That is an absolute fact. Just because it hasn't happened to you yet doesn't mean it won't happen. All you have to do is leave the safe confines of the San Francisco gay area, go to a real city, get around some real people, and you'll find that shit out quick. And if you don't believe me, go in any neighborhood and say some shit that's offensive to them, because it only matters what you think. And watch how it fucking turns out for you, right? Number 6, leave room for mistakes. Did you make a mistake or say something stupid? It's okay. Use the experience to learn and make a joke. Now, what Eli said, right, is that he admits when he's wrong all the damn time. No, you don't. Eli, I'm telling you right now, and I challenge anyone to show me one time Eli admitted when he was wrong. You have to realize, this whole beef with me and you, Eli, is because you won't admit that you're wrong. You don't even admit when you get caught lying. Pencil Factory, Georgia. That's a flat out lie. Have you ever admitted it? JB has a room in his house that's built to look like a hotel. You caught lying. Did you admit that? JB Gunner is Trim Hits. Did you admit that you was lying there? That you was wrong? Have you ever admitted that you was wrong? Huh? I got a GPS on his car. Have you ever admitted you was wrong about that? Have you ever admitted that you was wrong or flat out lying? I challenge you to show me one time that you've ever done that, especially in anything involving me, because you've never done it. It's never happened. Number 7, accept the things you cannot change. That's right. Eli, you have to accept the fact that JB Gunner is better than you. You have to accept the fact that JB Gunner is wittier than you, funnier than you, more successful than you on this platform, overall a better YouTuber than you. You have to accept the fact that in our beef, I flat out won. And no matter how many behind the scenes things you try to do to cheaply get a victory, it will never work, because society and other people already know that I won this battle completely. It was a shutout. I blew you the fuck out. And the quicker you can accept that, because you can't change it, the better off you'll be. If you just flat out admit to yourself, yes, JB beat me. He won. I gotta move on. He won. JB, you won. I was wrong here and there. I'm gonna move on. I would accept that, and I'd say, all right, cut, get the fuck out of here. But you refuse to do that. You refuse to accept the things you cannot change or admit that you're wrong. It's flat out. In fact, you come out here and you say, I went 2 weeks without discussing the Dramasphere. No, you haven't. You discuss it each and every stream. You discuss it each and every time, every single day. Just because you don't say, and this is the problem, is you convince yourself that you've actually stopped talking about us, but every single stream you've done, we can clearly see you talking about us. You can clearly see you haven't let go or stopped talking or stopped feeding into anything. And especially behind the scenes. And you know this. Eli, you know this. You know how much you're talking about us behind the scenes. How many phone calls do you have each day where you're talking about JB Gunner? You don't have to admit it to us. Admit it to yourself. Because that will tell you that you haven't let go or accepted or moved on from the Dramasphere at all. Period. I still live in your head and I still control your fucking life. And you know it and I know it. Anyway, stop wishing things could be the way they once were. Exactly. Stop wishing that you and Dana could be together, and stop wishing that it could go back to before you met JB Gunner, because it never can. Because I exposed you, I flat out obliterated you, and that's the point. Don't take yourself too seriously. That's number 8. Now, the cuck will never accept that. He's going to take him and say, I am a life coach. I am a life coach. No, you're not. This will allow you to relax and enjoy life's journey, it says. Exactly. Cuck Eli can never admit his flaws or laugh at himself or realize anything that's actually true about himself. He can't just chill out and be like, you know what, this cuck shit, everything that JB Gunner's done, this is all hilarious, really. Because if you would have done that, let me tell you the one time you did do that, when you joined the King and the Cuck show. You had more respect then than you've ever had since then. Why? Because you didn't take yourself too seriously. You just said, fuck it, let's roll with it, let's have some fun. Do what scares you. Exactly, Cuck. Number 9, do what scares you. The reality, you already know that the truth of this is that actually letting go of JB Gunner scares the fuck out of you, because you have no content. You don't know where you would go without mentioning JB Gunner or the Gun Squad or any of us. The reality of this is, if you did actually do it, then you would be a lot better off. At the end of the day, if you letting us go scares you, that is the reality. You talk about learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. I agree, but you're scared to do that. I don't care how much you tell your audience that you are doing it. You're not doing it, and you know that. Behind the scenes, you're not doing it. I know this because your people behind the scenes tell me that you're not doing this. You know goddamn well. You're always on the phone with SB trying to figure out a way to take me down. But you've been unable to do it because you're a fucking frail cuck that has no ability to succeed at anything, and it scares you to death to let go of JB Gunner. Because then that makes you obsolete. The only reason people even know who you are is JB motherfucking Gunner. The quicker you realize that, the quicker you can start moving on to what your real future needs. That's the reality. Number 10, express what works for you. That's exactly right. Find your voice. That's exactly right, Cuck. You need to understand this. Express what works for you. What works for you? Apparently selling insurance, right? Maybe that's what you should do. You should do a channel with selling insurance. Express what works for you. This YouTube thing, I'm a life coach. I'm going to try to teach other people how to live life while your life absolutely sucks. Does not work for you. That is the bottom line. You need to find what works for you and express it and apply it. But you're too fucking stupid to do it. You want to continue to try to squeeze yourself inside a hole that your punk ass don't fit in. Allow yourself to feel negative emotions is number 11. Whether you lost a loved one through death or a breakup, honor your loss. That's right. Have your little bad emotions. That's right. Hold on. No, you say men don't have emotions. But then you also say it's the most emotional loss we could ever have, a breakup with a girlfriend. Which is it, cuck? The reality of this is men have emotions, and it's fucking only a punk-ass beta male would really think, because they're trying to act alpha, that men don't have emotions, that men don't get sad, that men don't get insecure, that men don't get angry or cry. We typically don't do it in public, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Every man watching this will tell you they've had some bad fucking times. There's been some shitty days where they've been ready to kill everything because shit is just bubbling up. Men have a lot more emotions than you admit, cuck. And the reality of this is, but you beta males like to sound alpha, so they'll say dumb shit like that, knowing that it's completely ridiculous. Allow yourself to feel the negative emotions, cuck. Admit them. And that's just the reality. Admit it. JB Gunner has anally taken your fucking innocence. It just is what it is. I've destroyed you. It is what it is. Admit it. Just move on. Accept it. Tell us your negative emotions. We'll accept it, and then you can go. Learn forgiveness. That's number 12. Of course. Key to moving on. Another key to moving on is learning forgiveness. That is reality. So, cuck, you, over and over again, have continuously looked at me angrily. You've gotten mad. You're so triggered. But have you ever thought to yourself, maybe I should just forgive the fact that he hurt my fifis? I have actually forgiven quite a few people that's done some really shady shit, including you. There's a lot of times I've let your bullshit go. That's why you're not incarcerated right now, cuck. You're not in jail or prison because I am the type of person that's like, fuck it. But you have no ability to let things go, forgive, or forget. Because for you, your narcissism won't let that happen. Because in your little cuck brain, you're continuously saying, I don't get it. I don't understand. How dare they? How dare they mess with the great Coach Eli? Well, actually, the truth of this is you're a frail fucking cuck that no one likes. You are, how dare we? How dare you get out here in public and try to convince people that you're an authoritative voice, when the truth of this is you're nothing more than a frail beta male that has no ability to gain any authority in their voice. You say everyone else is projecting, everyone else is jealous. There is no one projecting more and more jealous as you. The truth is you wish you were JB Gunner. You wish that you had the ability to succeed the way on the levels that I have succeeded. You wish, and you project your own insecurity because you can't figure out how this fat ghetto motherfucker was able to accomplish everything you wish you could have accomplished. That is the absolute facts. So when you look at this shit and you look at your own topic and the topic of this, learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. You want to know how to do it, cuck? Stop playing your part in it. Just simply admit your failures, admit where you went wrong, and simply walk away and actually stop fucking feeding into it. But you won't and you can't Because in your eyes, you have to get your first victory over me. You will not stop until you do it. Now, you may not be doing it on the screen right now. You may be behind the scenes hoping you can do it. But make no mistake about it, that's what you're doing. You're fighting, and you're fighting because you just want one win. Let me tell you something, Cuck. Even if you get the one win, it will, it will do you no good. Because I've had thousands of wins over you. Thousands. So I just want you to understand that. Thousands. I am literally 2,000 and 0 against you. The quicker you accept that, the quicker you realize that, the quicker you can let it go and actually yourself stand by your own teachings, which is to learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. Is it nonsensical drama? Yes, it is. And the main reason it's nonsensical is because you yourself get so triggered and butthurt about shit that's not even a big deal. Well, they call me cuck. Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. You're a liberal sack of shit. That is why we call you cuck. That's the bottom line. If you don't like it, fuck you. Who cares? But the reality of this is you can't stand people roasting you. You can't stand people clowning you. You think people must pay for clowning you. Well, this is the internet, bitch. Welcome to it. I've been here for almost 14 years. People clowned on me. People are going to clown on you. And only a narcissistic cuck would think that that's not going to happen to you. Not me, not Coach Eli. I'm a good guy. I shouldn't be clowned on and roasted and critiqued. Well, don't you realize that your own narcissism and your own belief of that is what makes people critique you, what makes people troll you, what makes people question you, and what makes people roast you? The quicker you understand that, the better off you will be. Guys, I'm Coach JB, and this has been, well, learning to let go and free yourself from nonsensical drama. Whether we're talking about the cuck or we're talking about you guys watching, you want to know how to free yourself? You just walk away. That's it. Just like that. Stop it. Realize that no matter what drama you're in, no matter what issue you're in, that's just one of many. And this is where the cuck goes wrong. It's the biggest thing in his life to him. And that's why he thinks that we're behind the scenes doing all this crazy shit. The reality of this is not even one of my top 20 things going on in my life. And that is the truth. Most of us know, just walk away from it. But since this is the biggest thing, the most impactful thing, and the most emotional thing going on in the cuck's life, he fears to let it go. Because this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to him. And that shows you how frail and weak and pathetic his life actually is. If you guys like what I do here and you want to support the channel, by all means hit the links down below. I appreciate you all. I will be doing morning coffee here very soon. Love y'all, man. I'm getting the fuck up.